Welcome, Mr. Jones back again, and it's Tuesday the 25th of February, and this video is going to be DIY conservatory roof replacement, the project. I'll describe the project, I'll describe your options. Now, it's a very good idea when starting a project like this to know what you're going to do from the start, to have your expectations laid out, to have a project plan in place. I didn't do any of that, and especially on the gutter at the rear, it just evolved as time went on, which is kind of a big mistake. Yeah, please note that some of the images of the conservatory and the guttering, etc., look quite good, but in fact every glass panel was blown. There was weed and slime in between the glass panes of the double glazing, and when I took them off they separated and it stunk. All the seals between the glass and the conservatory had failed, so sometimes it rained in the conservatory, and on odd occasions it actually snowed inside the conservatory. The gutters had no slope, they leaked, and they had stagnant water lying in them. The box gutter at the back and the side didn't drain water at all. It just lay there, and it was full of stinking black water. And the only thing that gutter was really any good at was propagating weeds, small trees, and supporting wildlife. There was all sorts up there. Worms, woodlice, centipedes, and various bitey things that scared the hell out of me, and especially very large spiders. Whilst I was doing this work, I saw a program about a man who had scaled up a cliff, risking his life, and he'd climbed into a cave to discover a new type of snail. Well, I would have happily given him a ladder, and I'm sure he would have discovered something on my conservatory roof. The box gutter leaked at the back, which made water run down the kitchen wall. This caused black mold and eventually the plaster to fall off. The conservatory was totally impossible to heat. The wind whistled in through all the gaps in the plastic and the gaps between the glass and the plastic. I was heating Staines upon Thames. The glass panels had actually started to slide because the end caps that meant to retain them at the bottom had deteriorated and broken, and the little keys that also meant to hold it there had also snapped. So there was a small risk that the glass could slide out, and also a risk that the glass could fall into the conservatory itself. Anyway, I've painted you a picture of what it was like. Now I'm going to show you the pictures. that was a small compilation of some of the stages of building the conservatory roof. I've left out large parts of it because it's covered in my videos 1 through to 5, which are on my YouTube channel at Mr. Jones DIY, and I'll put links beneath this video. At the start you can see that the conservatory looks nice and white. It looks pretty good, but in fact it was in a terrible state, and the builders who came here suggested that we just knocked it down, but we obviously decided not to. So what's next? I've given you an idea of planning permission, building control, and now an idea of the project that I undertook and the reasons for keeping it classed as a conservatory rather than as an extension to the house. So the next critical bit I'm going to cover in my next video is the structure. It doesn't look strong if you look from the inside, but in fact it is a very strong aluminium structure. The shape of it adds strength, and the actual design also gives strength. And we need to be sure before we embark on a project like this that we're not putting anybody at risk. So I'll go into that in some detail in my next video. You'll notice that I put music instead of my voice on that montage, and that's because during the work there was considerable swearing going on. It wasn't easy, it was quite a challenge. I also left out a bit when I drilled a hole through my finger, and that was fairly bloody and not very nice at all. But the one thing I would like to leave you with about this project: if I can do it, you can do it. And if you're wondering why I'm videoing this inside rather than my favorite place outside, or even sitting on my roof, it is freezing cold and pouring down with rain. And the reason I'm wearing outdoor clothes inside is because this is still an unheatable Victorian house.